What's up, YouTube? Ending back again. And this past weekend on Saturday, March 18th, we had our Los Angeles regionals. We had around 900 competitors, and today I'm going to be showing you a deck profile of the deck I got my invite with. I got 36th place, and I was playing Inzektors. I'm going to show you the deck profile. I'm going to do some exclamations, and I hope you enjoy. First off, to start with the monsters, we had 3 centipedes, 3 ladybugs, 1 hornet, 1 dragonfly, 1 gigamantis, triple card Cardi, 2 tour guides, and 1 dark arm. For the spells, Dark Hole, Heavy Storm Reborn, 2 Pot of Duality, triple Mystical Space Typhoon, 2 Forbidden Lands, 1 Allure of Darkness, 1 Foolish Burial, 2 Insect Imitations, and 2 Inzektor Swords at Caliber. For traps, triple Threatening Roar, double Fiendish Chain, double Conforcer Evacuation Device, 1 Call the Haunted, and 1 Pinpoint Guard. So regarding the monsters, basically I felt like these 15 monsters was all I really needed. Of course, we have the main Inzektor engine. I felt like Hopper was not needed for the deck. In most plays, I never found myself ever wanting to Hopper. When I did play with Hopper, opening up Centipede Hopper is not the nuts. Opening up Centipede Ladybug, on the other hand, is. Of course, obviously these make you just win the game. Card is just amazing. A Pot of Greed, every time he's summoned, he's basically a Pot of Greed, or it, whatever. I'm giving it a gender, I guess, but Card, I usually set it at 1, but I never set it at all of them. Card is just too good, so fast, you're drawn to everything you need. Again, you have so many cards like Foolish, Allure, Duality, Card, plus Centipede and Ladybug. There's times where I thought I was going to set up for a card and I ended up getting a Centipede or getting a Ladybug or just one more card I was missing, so it's really nice. Card in general just got me where I was going, helped me keep tempo above my opponents and just maintain stability, drawing the cards I need and lots of outs. Tour Guide again is amazing, combos out. It's an easy turn 1 play. You can make a Zen main sit on it, you can make Tempo, just quick answers, Leviathan, Leviair. Just amazing. And Dark Arm Dragon, it's like the inherent boss monster of the deck. It's just too good not to run. Honestly, all day. The only times I brought it out were in 2 OTKs, and it was good, not to say that, but there was never a point where I just dropped Dark Arm and just started coming back from that or anything like that. A lot of my games I ended up 2-0ing my opponent. It was just pretty ridiculous. Spells are obvious for the most part. Triple Space is really nice. I mean, not every deck runs a lot of back row, but in the end of the day, you can pop your own stuff, so that can help you get going. Duality, Allure, Foolish, those help you get started really well. Imitation, I went off so many times with Imitation and Ladybug. Not to mention either having the Hornet or having a Foolish, it was just ridiculous. Being able to have Imitation Ladybug and just set up with Laval Chain or make a powerful play like with a Tyrus or something, it's really nice. Lances helped me all day, and Double Sword was just there constantly. It was just amazing. For traps, again, thank you, Michael Stibbins. Threatening Roar is absolutely amazing. I love this card. It kept me safe all day long. I had like a Centipede with a Lance, a Sword, and a T-Roar. I got Heavy Stormed, Chain Lance, and T-Roar. Got the Surge, got to add a card from the graveyard. It was just ridiculous. Fiendish Chain and Compulses all day. Every time a monster just was in my way, any sort of dumb effect or monster I don't need to deal with, it was just almost acted as another T-Roar. I just get the monster out of the way or freeze it. It just really helps tremendously. I decided to go with 1 Call the Haunted, 1 Pinpoint Guard. I was running 2 Call the Haunteds for a while, but I had already taken it down to 1 before Pinpoint Guard was even released. Upon release of the Pinpoint Guard, I got it on Sneak Peek, and I've been testing it ever since. And on paper, it sounded amazing, and in this deck, it's just nutty. There's 2 games where they were trying to swing for a game, and I brought back a Centipede, and I was able to go off the next turn, and it was just ridiculous. This card is absolutely amazing in this deck. Yeah, I really just loved the traps all day long. I never felt like I didn't have clunky calls, didn't have clunky cards at all. I just felt like I was drawing perfectly for the most part. There was 1 game where I did not draw. Sorry about this. That I did not draw. Preferably, I drew very bad, to say the least. But anyways, we'll go on to the extra deck. We have one Tyrus, one Volcasaurus, one Exostag, one Ninja, and one Gaia. Honestly, I never brought out the Ninja, but I brought out all the other ones. The Volcasaurus got me game multiple times. Exostag helped me combo out while also making bigger plays. Gaia Charger, again, just helps over the rank 5s. Tyrus is just an amazing lockdown card. Your opponent really has to make moves. Same with Volcasaurus. If you keep a threatening roar and a Volcasaurus up, it's just ridiculous. I ran for the 4s, Dagastor, Emerald, Lavalval Chain, Shockmaster. I never made Emerald all day. I made Lavalval Chain 3 times, I think, with Imitation 3 or 4 times, and then I made Shockmaster round 1, game 2 against Constellars, and I 2 of them with Shockmaster. I shocklocked them with a Ladybug, a Reborn, and an Imitation. For 3s are pretty obvious: Leviathan, Leviair, Zenmains, Giga Brilliant, Tempo, Acid Golem, and and then for rank 2, Dagusto Phoenix. I never brought out Acid Golem once. Every other card helped me tremendously, especially Tempo really helped it a lot, and Zenmains did put in a lot of work. I did use Zenmains quite a few times with Tour Guide. Dagusto Emerald helped me in like 2 or 3 OTK situations, and it was just really nice. Dagusto Emerald is just ridiculous, especially you can get into a play where you have like a rank 5, a Leviair, and an Emerald, and you can slap Gaia Charger and just attack twice with Gaia Charger. Pretty insane. Extra deck is too good. I love the extra deck right now. I took out Cowboy for Dagusto Emerald just because Cowboy is cool, but I made him I made him once and I needed to make him another time, and it really didn't matter. And Emerald is just there just in case, but I never used Ninja, never used Emerald, never used Acid Golem. So who knows? Maybe there's an instance where I should have or could have used Acid Golem, but who knows? For the side deck, I chose, 2 Snowman Eater, 2 Maxi, triple Drone Lockbird, triple D Fisher, 2 Soul Taker, and triple Imperial Iron Wall. So first off, it's a 2 Snowman Eater. Set it in against any sort of stun deck, any sort of beat down deck, like a hero deck, Dino Rabbit, of course. Just anything that's more like Samurais. I would set it in against Samurais. Like, yeah, they have Musakani, Magatama, but I can't really set in like Soul Taker and stuff like that to get rid of their monsters. Just things like that. Evil Swarm was really nice against. Maxi, I felt like there was just so many decks out that it was hard. Like the Mondolce deck was out, the Constellar deck was out. Just a lot of decks that people might be playing because a lot of focus is on Dragons and on Evil Swarm and on Prophecies, but there are a lot of good decks out right now, and I just thought Maxi just can't go wrong with. It really did help me when I did play against Water last round. It was really nice. I had D Fisher. Like, usually when I side against them, I do side the D Fisher and the Maxi, because by the time they get the D Fisher off the board, I'll have Maxi in hand, and that's exactly what happened. That's what's been happening to me every time I've been playtesting against them and siding. And again, it worked at regionals, it worked in tournament, and it really helped me a lot. It was great. Triple Drone Lockbird. I did play Prophecies round 4. That deck was ridiculous to say the least. I actually beat them, and Drone Lockbird did help me a lot game 2 and 3. It really helped a lot to slow them down, and I have no complaints with the card. It just helped out a lot. It was a good investment. D Fisher, triple D Fisher. What did I say? I sided against so many times. I sided against Frognarks. I sided it against Lightsworns, Dark Worlds, Water. Helps tremendously. This is by far my favorite side deck card. Even outside of this regionals and other tournaments, this card has been amazing, and I really love it in this deck. I love the fact that this deck is basically the best graveyard deck. It can utilize D Fisher, and no other graveyard deck can utilize D Fisher. Dark Worlds, Prophecies, Dark Worlds, Water, Frogs. They can't do anything with a removal card, and it's pretty amazing that Inzektor's Cannon, all it does is make them more powerful. Now when I destroy your stuff, it removes it from play. It's just nutty. Soul Taker I've been liking a lot. I've been citing it since I started playing this deck last format. It really helps get rid of like problem cards, just like a TK or a King Tiger, or just like a random big monster. Like, you can get rid of all this other stuff, but it's that big monster that's stopping you, or just one random monster stopping you. What's that? I always call it Dimensional Alchemist, but it's Manage for the Radiance. I always want to call it that first. I have no idea why. Helps against that a lot. Against Constellars, you can destroy their Pallades. It just really helps, as long as they don't have Omega up anyways. And then Triple Iron Wall. Triple Iron Wall was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Sided against Prophecies. I sided against the Dino Fist deck. I sided against, what's the other deck? Evil Swarm. It helped against so much against Evil Swarm. It was amazing. They summoned Rabbit, Imperial Iron Wall, then make a dumb play, compulse the monster that they made out of the way. It was just really, really great. So I'm going to go through some of my rounds, basically. Round 1, I did play Constellar. That was a very quick match. Game 1, I opened, I was able to maintain with a Centipede and keep control. Next turn, I OTK'd him with Volcasaurus, a Centipede at 32 with 2 swords, like a Centipede with 2 swords, and Gaia Dragon, like I slapped Gaia Dragon over Volcasaurus, tech for game with that. And then game 2 of the same round, I opened up, like I said, Imitation Ladybug Reborn, and I was able to let go. I went Lavalval Chain, Leviathan, and Shockmaster, and shock locked him and held him down from that, and then killed him. I think 2 turns after that. He had plays. It was like Cyber Dragon, Ghost Ship, make Pallades, run over my Shockmaster. Next turn I went to battle phase, tried to attack with Gaia Charger. He bounced it back to hand. I had Dragonfly, or no. I had Centipede. A Centipede, pop it, equip sword, and then just maintain control from that. And he lost soon after. Round 2 was my first loss. I lost to Fire Fist. I could not, for the life of me, draw like that. I could draw like, I'd have like Dragonfly but no Hornet or Ladybug, or like Centipede, a sword, and nothing else. And it's just like, I got to a point where like my summon resolved and everything, but I didn't have it. I needed an MST to like pop my sword so I can get stuff going. And it's like, he didn't even do anything fancy. All he did was just like keep popping my monsters with Bear, and he like kept me, I was like a tempo behind him the whole time. So he just like, every time I get something up, he'd just pop it with the new Bear that I got rid of the turn before, because I couldn't get rid of his tankies. And it was the same thing game 2. I drew just like unplayable hands for the most part, and he just beat me down with Bear. It was like, I mean, Bear is a great card. Don't get me wrong. I'm not talking crap about the player or anything like that. That's what happened. It was horrible. Round 3, I was able to redeem myself. I played Frog Monarchs, which, I mean, that's not a hard matchup as long as you keep control. And I had against Frog Monarchs, it's a really easy deck to play against, and especially siding in game 2, game 3, you get to put in like Defish and stuff like that. I had like little problems facing them. Again, I drew really well, and then game 2 I had Defisher, and I was able to 2-0 them as well. Round 4 was one of my hardest matchups by far. Game 1, the first card he played was Judgment Day, and he just started going off from there. I went first though. I started with an Imitation and a Ladybug, and I made Lavalval Chain and like set up as Centipede to hand, dropped the Hornet in grave. I think I had a Compulse and a Lance or something like that, or maybe it was a T-Roar up. I don't remember, but there was a point like he had done all 3 Judgment Days, game 1 of round 4, and at the end of it, I was able to OTK him because like the Lavalval Chain just sets you up so well to where it's so easy to make a play like the turn right after, and it just really helps a lot. And game 3, I did lose game 2. I didn't draw the most playable hand. He was drawn fairly well. And then game 3, it comes down to where I'm like playing around his fates, and he has a board set up, and he knows I have the Dragonfly in hand, and I have a Ladybug, and I have a Hornet in grave, and I'm just trying not to lose my equips to fate and lose the game basically. And I top Dark Hole, and I Dark Hole him and summon Dragonfly, pop his back row as MST, which in my head, my only out was being able to Volcasaurus, burn his High Priestess, and attack an Nagachi with Gaia Charger, but his MST would ruin me, so my only out really was the Dark Hole, which, I mean, that was really good luck. It really saved me. Round 5 played Light Sworns again. Easy match, maybe a 10-minute match. 2-0'd him. game one, actually, I never even drew a centipede or a ladybug or anything like that. I just drew a hornet, a sword, and a gigamantis for the most part. I mean, I eventually drew another sword, but other than Inzektor cards, nothing. And I kept attacking with a 3200 hornet, which is pretty funny. And then game two, I opened up like a really strong like centipede hand, able to hold back with D Fisher and stuff. And again, I was able to kill him, 2-0'd him. Dark Worlds, he opened up card destruction game one and two, and like game one I had a horrible hand, and then I card destruction to a really good hand, but he was able to get me game one, just through bringing out like too many monsters and me not able to like come back with tempo, which really messed me up. But game two I was able to OTK him fairly quickly, and then game three I just held control with D Fisher, which again D Fisher is just absolutely amazing in all my matchups for the most part. Every time I set it in, just helped out tremendously. Round five, I played Evil Swarm. Evil Swarm is just a ridiculously easy matchup for this deck. Outside of Dress, they really have nothing that they can do. He did have Safe Zone, which is pretty neat. I mean, I understand how the rolling works and everything. I've seen it before, but it was like I'd go to pop his back row Dragonfly, and he'd go to equip Safe Zone to Dragonfly, obviously to destroy it. Unfortunately for him, both times he did do it, I had Lance in hand, so his effect didn't go off. I was just able to just go right on with what I was doing, and just really made no difference. I was able to 2-0 him, not quickly, but I mean it did help a lot, and it was a really easy matchup. I mean the only big card that I bring out, other than like the only big card I bring out for the main deck is Dark Arm Dragon. All the rank 5s I make are used with level 3 monsters that I manipulate levels with, so I mean, there's no problem there. Volcasaurus destroying 2,550 monsters is pretty ridiculous, and being able to attack with Gaia Charger again, just amazing. Round 8, I was still X-1 by round 8. Round 8, I played Dino Fist. It was actually a person that I know. He vends at Frank's too. It was just like game one, I was able to OTK him again. Like I was able to set up board really easy, and then I OTK'd him. Game two, I had Heavy Storm, Dark Hole. I went for there was a point like not after that because I didn't have everything I needed at that point. But there was a point shortly after, maybe 2 turns later, I had the OTK in hand. I start going for the OTK, and there's a point where I lose attention or something, and I end up adding a Ladybug instead of a Dragonfly, or instead of a sword. And that prevents me from OTKing and killing him and 2-0ing him and proceeding on to round 9 as X1. Like, chances so high of top 8ing. But I did fail to do that. I had the wrong card to hand. And I wasn't, like, I did know the person, but I wasn't about to ask to, like, oh, wait, let me change my move. Because I made the move, I picked the card, I put it in my hand. I'm not going to be like, take it back or anything like that. That's just outrageous. And then game 3, I opened up similar to how I opened up against Fire Fist earlier. I wasn't able to I needed one more card. I needed like one more Inzektor to go off, and that was I never got the chance. And sadly, I ended up losing my second round. I lost my second game in round 8, which did hurt, but I still had a good chance of getting my top, which is my main concern at the time. Round 9, I played against Evil Swarm, and it was the same situation. There was one time where I went to pop his back row with Dragonfly. He safe zones it at lands. The matches were almost fairly similar. In all honesty, my round 7 Evil Swarm matchup was a bit harder. He sided in a card called Deck Lockdown, and that card really prevented me from doing things for a little bit, but I was able to hold back until the card resolved and left the field, and then I was able to go off, but the round 9 Evil Storm player, or the Evil Storm deck, it was good, but it was just like it doesn't do anything to the deck for the most part. And I thought he was gonna side in macro. I never saw him macro, so I sided in Pearl Iron Wall anyways, and it stopped his Rabbit, it stopped his Cerceon, so it really came in handy. And then round 10, I played against the water deck. Like, it was similar again. Game 1, I OTK'd him. Every time he had Sphere, I had MST, which is really nice. I Volcasaurus big monsters and just popped everything, ran it over, and just business as usual, basically. And then game 2, I had pretty much everything I needed to win for the next turn. I had I had a Compulse, a Lance, and a T-Roar set. I card car. I in turn, he royal decreased me and OTK'd me, and it was just like, holy crap, like no one sided royal decree on me all day, and I know that definitely would have hurt, but that crapped on me. And then game 3, I just had the D Fisher, and I was able to just OTK him again. The deck is just amazing. A lot of people feel like it's dead. A lot of people, like one of the persons I played before, I'm not gonna say which deck it was, but I played them before, and they're like, "Are you still playing Inzektors?" I just like, "Nah." And they're like, "Yeah, that deck fell off hard a while ago," and I ended up beating them, and they were pretty upset at the end of it. But I really feel like this deck was such a huge meta call. With Ophion being active, it means that one of our hardest matchup, in my opinion, the hardest matchup, 6 Samurais, wasn't seen nearly as much. With the big 3, Evil Swarm, Prophecies, and Banish, and like the Elemental Dragons not being really hurt by Macrocosmos, I didn't have to see that card as much. If I was going to see a card like that, it was going to be in Pearl Iron Wall, and all that does is help me for the most part. I mean, I really don't want to see a bottomless. I think that's really the only one outside of Macro even, but those 2 things really helped a lot. And there was just a lot of things in my favor which really helped. Like the meta is just shifted towards that right now, and with a lot of people running cards like Mere Force, D Prison, stuff like that, as opposed to like Compulses or Trench. I mean, I did see Torrential Tributes, but I mean, I do run Lances. This deck is just very powerful. Again, with Lavalval Chain, such like a few other decks that have like getting steam again because of the card, like Infernities. Lavalval Chain creates just such a fast search engine. You get to search essentially 2 times when using Lavalval Chain. You get to put 1 engrave plus the Centipede that you used. You get to use something. You get to obviously add something to hand, so you can set it up like, usually if I have an Imitation and a Ladybug, I'll make Lavalval Chain, add a Centipede to hand, and put a Hornet engrave, and then the next turn you're just ready to go. You can have a Lance for the Centipede, you could have a Sword even, so you can combo it even further, which is really nice. The deck just, I was so happy to top with it. I mean, I did mess up, and I messed up round 8. If I could have potentially got higher, I would have got higher up. I could have potentially got top 8. Alberto, the person I did play, he did get top 8. He got the nice Trago sack mat. I was just really jealous, but he's a great player. He definitely deserved it. It was my fault that I messed up, not his, and he deserved the win, so definitely. So I'm just going to do a slight recap. Here's some of the monsters. Here are spells. And here are our traps. Pimp on Guard's amazing. Compulsive Fiendish, which is outrageous, threatening. Again, I love the trap so much. Here's our side deck. Again, the side deck was just amazing. I sided in I think this might have been the first regionals where I sided in every single card from my side deck, and they actually worked, and it was really great. I'm really feeling the side deck right now. Again, the extra deck that we've been looking at for so long. So yeah. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I thank you so much for watching. I'm just really happy this deck is just, I love this deck so much. It's amazing. I really hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of this. Maybe if you want to run the deck, you'll get some ideas from this. But again, thank you for watching. Comment, rate, sub. For any new subscribers, any new viewers, I hope you keep watching in the future. I'm going to be posting videos up a lot more often now, so please comment, rate, and sub, and just thank you all again for watching. Enddoom out.